Welcome to the city, Mastermind City. Hi, I'm Faye Chappell.
And I'm Stacey Maynard. Join us for a vibrant, uplifting, and inspiring conversation as we focus on how you can make a lasting impact on a global scale. Because the truth is, we're here because we want you to win.
So are you ready? Are you ready to build your unique message, showcase your brand advantage, get visibility, and make an impact? Well, if you are, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the city. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Never gonna keep me down.
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Yep. So it was a fun week. So my parents were coming up to visit. I haven't really seen them. I've seen them twice since COVID, not, from afar kind of thing. And my phantom son and his girlfriend were coming up, who I haven't seen in 2.5 years because of COVID, and my little guy. So everyone was going to be there. I was very excited. This was on Thursday. And so it was very cool. Everything was all set. And literally, my mom walked up the stairs. She was there for 30 seconds and she fell. And then we spent 7 hours in the hospital. And now she's
hospital for you?
In Midland. It's it's not exactly one that you care to be stuck in. Sorry if anyone there is listening. But so we're there for 7 hours. She had a fracture on her pelvis, so now she is at my place, and I'm looking after her. She's in a wheelchair for a while, and it's going to take probably a month to heal. So I seem to attract people that need help. But it was sad because she was looking forward to it, to see her grandkids, and she brought all this food to cook all weekend. So guess who had to cook? That would be me. So anyway.
I can't imagine. I can't. I think it's not great when you have to start taking care of your parents.
Hard. You were just at your parents as well. Yeah. Right? Happy birthday. You had your birthday in Halifax.
I did. I had my birthday over the weekend. It was Father's Day on Sunday, and I had my birthday on Sunday, so we went to celebrate. So my friend took me out for coffee in the morning. But, I'm not a big, it was weird because I think the last 3 out of 4 I've spent with you. I look back, I'm like, oh, there's my birthday thing. Oh, there's my birthday thing. So I spent it with family this year. But I think what I worry about is when I get old, which one of my kids is going to take care of me?
Yeah, because you
have a daughter. My girls have a daughter. And as much as we want to think that boys are sensitive and all of that kind of stuff, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, they're not looking after you. Sorry.
I have to start eating really healthy and exercising because I'm done.
You'll never need help because, you can always count on a girl. I know that sounds, we're going to get hate mail, but
it's so
sexist. But you can always count on. Now we're going to get two things. One is we're going to get a lot of people that say, oh, but my son's fabulous and this is what he does. And then we're going to also get people that say, I have a daughter and she sucks.
Well, there is, and it's not a carte blanche, right? There's girls out there who are useless. There are boys out there that are fantastic and sensitive and amazing, but still. Can I borrow your daughter if I get sick, maybe?
Yeah, I think you're going to have to. She's amazing. I always say she should have been a nurse because she's so good. She's actually there today as I'm here working at the studio because I kind of lost a couple of days. And, we've been working on a lot. So it's tough because, I had literally an hour. So, I rush around in the morning and try to get everything done in an hour. And then I have all these, complications to deal with, obviously. And then the real, everything else that I have to do on a daily basis. So it's been a little wild for a couple of days. Yeah, so a little busy. But you know what? Like we always say, you just have to keep going, whatever, is thrown your way. So you have to, make do in some of your plans. I mean, I had planned to put out a couple things this week and couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't get it done. So, today's
I
a
think
good
that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, but and we say that all the time. It's okay. You roll with it. That's how it goes. And absolutely always put family first, especially your parents because, they're older and they need the help. But it is okay, but you have to also be very cautious that you don't let things slide too much because at the end of the day, you have to pay the bills.
Well, there is a time. I think you're right. There's a line there, and I think it came down to it's priorities. It's we always say deadlines help you stick to deadlines. It helps you get things done, all that kind of stuff. As long as it doesn't become a habit. And now in this, it was completely extreme circumstances. So you had to kind of go. Work stuff has to wait for a few days. I have to focus on family, so it's extreme. But if you start to kind of go. It's okay. It's okay. And then it becomes too easy to push things off to, I want to have this thing start, this date. And you go, I decided to do this. I decided to do that. I think there's a difference between deciding to do it without a reason and you having a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So just make sure it doesn't. So
yeah,
that's okay. So, we are still pushing forward with work stuff though. I mean, as much as personal stuff is insane for you right now, you're still pushing through and you're still getting things done, right? So
we have a couple, we have a lot of things on the go. Visibility School starts in just a couple weeks, right? So that's us live. We were coaching people every single week for 8 weeks. So and I think it's interesting because what I've found in the last month or two is that it's becoming more and more important to really understand kind of the stuff we're teaching, which is really about being visible, getting noticed, because it's harder and harder every day, right? And I was talking to Julie, who's my son's girlfriend, who's a phenomenal graphic artist and designer, and she sells these wonderful pins. You got to guys check out her store. It's Juice Schmoo. And she was saying how, like the algorithms, how they've completely changed on Instagram, and how she used to get like all these views and they're just not getting them anymore. And where she's getting
the terminology. And I think that's what's really interesting is that it started with TikTok. So TikTok did not position themselves as a social media platform. They positioned themselves as a content creator platform for creators. And now Instagram has kind of taken that on as well. So again, no longer is it a social media platform. It's now a platform for content creators.
Right.
And that changes how you use the platform. It changes how you think about the platform, and it changes how the algorithm works.
Right.
And it's getting more and more difficult.
And even if, and she said TikTok has been like fantastic. And it's interesting because just you put the same thing on TikTok versus Instagram, totally different in terms of the response. So I think, Meta, the big gods at Meta, really need to start understanding what's going on for people that are paying their bills, which are advertisers, right?
Yeah.
Because
it's interesting the shift too, because I can totally see that, but also it's the demographic. Because we said there's no way that us old people are going to be taking over TikTok. TikTok is for the young, and it will never switch. It's switching.
It's just like really Instagram. Remember, Instagram when it first started was all very young, and then it started moving, and now it's graduating. So something else, I'm sure, will materialize after TikTok. But yeah, I mean, like we advertise obviously, and we have to look at the numbers now, and we're like, okay, so if we're not getting the responses we need by putting our stuff through on Instagram because they're not really promoting it, then we're going to spend less and less dollars there because it's not working. We're already like not really working with Facebook because that's totally tanked. And sorry, all you Facebook people, but it's dying, right? Like everyone we know is not looking at it at all.
Well, it's going to be interesting because I really do believe that Facebook is very much a baby boomers platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once the baby boomers start to go, as my dad would say, to the happy hunting ground. And then he always says, buy the farm, which is always really interesting as well. Anyway, morbid. But when they start to die off, it's going to be very interesting to see what actually happens to Facebook, because Facebook is now either ads or just people from like high school that you can keep in touch with. But you think about, I mean, you're not on Facebook. I'm not on it very much. I even ran into one of my son's old teachers. And, back probably even 5 years ago, we'd be like, oh, let's become friends on Facebook. And she goes, what's your Instagram?
Yeah.
And she's a little bit younger than me. So that's sort of their first go-to. So that leaves Facebook out to go to greener pastures. And then TikTok, like I see a lot now. My kids are still there, but even they're seeing the demographic switch to a much older audience, to the point that it's really interesting, and it's not the same Reels and TikTok, blah, 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 blah. But it's just, I'm fascinated by the fact that we're no longer focused on social media, and we're now talking about it is a place for content creators.
Well, it's interesting because I think part of it is a lot of people are just sick of it. Like it ate up so much of your time, right? And then you realize, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like an hour here scrolling, like for like mindlessly. And people start realizing, you know what? I got to stop and get out there and do my other stuff and not worry about social media. And I think it's not going away, obviously, but I think it's important. Like what we teach in visibility school is that it's harder now to get visible. It's harder to reach all the people that you need to reach for your business. So you have to diversify a bit, right? And so what we do in visibility schools, we give you all these different pillars to use so that you will be seen. It's not a social media school. That's not what our school is about. It's about making sure that you're very, very focused on giving your message out there on what you do, and then being able to spread that message across all different avenues so that you're seen. So the days of, just buy some ads on social media are long gone. It doesn't work as well. A lot of people in the past have always said, just spend, oodles of money on social media. What's interesting is I've noticed, and I'm sure you have too, Stacey, is there's people, for example, that was their thing, right? They were always just ads. And there's one, I don't know if you noticed it, I'm not going to say the name, but there's one sort of like platform, community-based platform that has lots of programs and that he was very focused on recurring revenue models, monthlies, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And did you see that email yesterday or day before? And it was like it was a lifetime plan that you could buy. And it was it was like half of a yearly subscription, and it was a lifetime plan.
Wow.
And I was like, this is somebody that I never would have expected to do something like that. So obviously that means the recurring revenue model is, not working quite as well as it used to. So, because I think people are now, again, I equate it, could be wrong, but I equate it to, people aren't spending as much time. They don't want to spend as much time on social media, online. So, for example, with our program, you're in 8 weeks, in, out, you're done, right? You still have access to it, but you don't keep paying or anything. You're done. 8 weeks, you're done. You've gone through the program. You've done everything awesome. But these ones that are like, just like our mastermind, our visibility mastermind is 3 months in and out, done. None of these 12-month things anymore, because people are like, I don't want to spend all that time doing it, right?
Well, and they don't necessarily want to spend all that time, but they don't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
To get there. That's the other piece. Like if I have to wait a year, That's a long time. I want to get my business going, which is why our visibility school, our summer school is so popular, because it's the summer. Like, people take a lot of breaks, and you can be like literally out of the gate running in September.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a lot of people are taking breaks in the summer.
Yeah. So, I mean, and we saw that, we put this together last year. We changed our model a bit because we were doing 8 months, right? We were doing longer time frame. And we saw that people were not wanting to do that anymore. And you can slowly start seeing, if you really pay attention, you're starting to notice people not, like, I've been off Facebook for a couple of years. You guys see my posts, but I don't really post. Well, we write the post. We still do our own posts. We write the post, just that it goes to all the platforms. Whereas I'm focused, I see it on Instagram and I'll react. I never, you know me, if you see me on Facebook, very rare. But like, the only time I comment is when I see Stacy comment and I'm like, oh, forgot somebody's birthday. So I go.
Well, I thought it was actually really funny. It was funny that you said that, because I went, hey, I was with my mom and I went, hey, look, Faye's on Facebook. She called, she said happy birthday.
Only because I knew it was Stacy's birthday. That's the only reason I was on it.
It was very interesting. So on that note, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday. So my son is involved with a basketball club, and one of the coaches contacted me and said, I want to talk to you about podcasting. Can I just give you a call? So I'm absolutely happy to help, because he's been amazing with my son. So happy to spend a few minutes on the phone talking to him. And in the midst of that conversation, he even said, I mean, this is a youth-focused basketball club.
Yeah.
Kids are not going to be listening to podcasts. He goes, but I've recognized in the whole online marketing, so good for him. I wish I had recorded the call, because the way he said it was brilliant, because he's like, I've recognized in the online marketing world, he goes, you can't just focus on social media anymore.
Right.
He goes, all we're doing is focusing the same stuff. We're doing posts from our different camps or classes and stuff like that. He goes, he didn't use the word diversified, but I feel like that's a very good word. He goes, but I need to figure out different ways to produce content, whether it's audio, whether it's video, podcast form, YouTube. He goes, I'll still do social media. He goes, but you can't just rely on that anymore. So he just wanted me to help him with some tech. He just had a couple of tech questions. Again, answered them, no problem. Tech geek, happy to help. But it was interesting for him to see that, because I was, when he first reached out, I'm like, why are you asking a youth-based program where I didn't understand what his thought process was, but what his thought process is that he needs content, he needs to create, and he needs to make it on multiple places, because you can't just rely on social media anymore.
Not anymore. So it's just an interesting sort of dynamic where everything's going right now, right? So
it's interesting to be the land.
And you have to keep up with it. You have to make sure that you're paying attention, that you're following, and like we say, if we don't post for a couple of days, nobody really notices anymore because they're not on it as much.
It's very true. It's very true. Now, just a really quick side note, there was a update on LinkedIn yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting. And I'm on the fence about whether I'm going to use it. So I posted on my story yesterday.
Okay.
So if you weren't on Instagram, you're probably a little busy. But basically, remember the old days of Facebook where you could go to a post and then you had your profile picture over here, and you could then engage you could like it from your profile, you could like it from your business page, and whatever, all the ones you had them in on. LinkedIn jumped on that bandwagon. So now when you go to LinkedIn, not on your phone, but on your desktop, you can now click on your face or click on your profile picture, and you can choose to either engage in the post from your profile or from your business page.
So is LinkedIn the new Facebook?
Well, it was kind of interesting because I saw someone post about it, and I kind of went. And normally I'm really excited. I'm like, you know me. I'm like, woohoo, new feature! Oh my god, I'm so excited! But I kind of saw this, and I literally reacted the same way. I went, So it felt a little icky to me. So for a few reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, it's too Facebooky.
Yeah.
Like you literally copied what Facebook did like 3 years ago.
Or longer.
Or longer. Absolutely. Yeah, because they've changed a lot. But if you're building, like on LinkedIn, your profile is the rock star.
Yeah.
Like, that's where you want to engage from. That's where you want to build the relationships from. And I saw a post where someone was like, this is such a great way to grow your page. And I went, no, it's not. It's actually very confusing, because if I know you as Faye Chapel and all of a sudden you're engaging from, I don't know, Faye Chapel International or One Red Lipstick or Mastermind City or whatever other businesses you have, as you have to be an admin on the page in order to do it. But a little bit of awareness from your company maybe, but I found it, I don't know. I'm not embracing this one.
Well, I mean, first off, who goes to pages anymore?
Well, okay, well, there's that. Nobody.
Like, I mean, the only time I go, for example, to a Facebook page, a business page, is if they don't have a website and they're treating their page as a website. Yeah. What you've noticed is those people don't even post anymore. Like, they don't even do, because like now it's like ridiculous. You can buy, like, you don't even have to buy, you can get a Wix or whatever for free, right? If you really wanted a website. So you don't need to have it. So, and we used to promote, like, if you didn't have a website, go ahead, do it on Facebook as a page, because at least it's something, it's awareness.
LinkedIn, something as a page that gave more information about your business. Absolutely.
But the only reason that truly that at least I put a LinkedIn page up is because you need it, so the little thing will show up on your profile. The little picture, icon, logo will show up on your profile.
Logo, you get your logo on your profile. But no, it's too much. So you think about, again, like we just talked about the lay of the land in regards to social media. So I have choices. I only have so many places I can go.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to follow, like, I'm not going to follow a page, because the odds are that if you're going to post on your company page, you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to post on your profile as well,
right,
or you're going to share it onto your profile. So I don't need to follow your page,
which is just on Facebook. No, the only thing is, which is exactly what we did on Facebook. You just share it to all your freaking profiles, and it's in a million spaces, and you kind of get sick of that too. So you didn't do it anymore. But the only thing the only thing, I don't even know if I'm right. So the people that are doing their newsletters on LinkedIn, were they driving it? Did they want to do, can you do a newsletter from a page? I don't even know.
You can only do a newsletter from a page.
So they're the ones that are driving the whole page thing then.
So LinkedIn's they're trying to move people over to the platform. There've always been, pages, company pages, all that kind of stuff. But that's not what LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is a professional networking platform.
Well, part of your USP for profiles, your program that's all about making sure you optimize your LinkedIn profile. That's a massive piece. If you're just realizing, watching this and going, oh my God, my LinkedIn profile sucks, you might want to check this out.
You're networking from your profile and all of your information about even all of your companies. So if I go to your profile and I go, oh, she has a company called Mastermind City, or she has a company called One Red Lipstick, or she has a company called Forest 17, or whatever the case may be, I can go to the company page and see and read a little bit more about it. But it's a resource spot, not a place to drive traffic to. So therefore, commenting as your page is counterintuitive to your brand.
Yeah.
And you want your brand to be your person on LinkedIn, which is why you're networking from that. You don't need to network from your page. So that's what the ultimate profile system is all about.
Interesting. I don't know. Just when we're kind of going, Meta's got to grow up a little bit and, realize where their people are. I'm wondering if LinkedIn's kind of got to take a little step and go do the same and go, what are we doing? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure.
It just literally, as soon as I saw it, I went, huh? Like,
Yeah,
I literally felt like they were it's too Facebooky, and that made me feel icky.
yeah. And it's interesting because when things came up, like when LinkedIn Live came up, you were like over the top, jumping up and down. You're so when they, you know, and but then they do something like that, and you're like,
Yeah.
like if you
and all the LinkedIn, yeah, all the LinkedIn updates have been all over LinkedIn Live. I was woohoo, and the different things, and they did the featured section, and I was over the moon. Literally, I was like, the things you can add to your featured and put it up there and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'm in. This is the first. This is the first update they've done where I went.
Have you seen many reviews yet? Is anybody like all excited about this?
It's so new. I only saw one article. It popped up in my world because I'm obviously connected to all of it. I've only seen one person say that it was a huge advantage because it gives more brand recognition to your company, and I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand if that's all you want to do. If you don't want to, personally, if you're just trying to promote your brand and you don't want to be part of your brand, then okay.
Well, see, because on Facebook, like I understood it for Facebook because it was, here's my personal profile. So I have friends and, family and all of that, because that's how Facebook was positioned. And then you had your business page. So you wanted to interact as your business page on business related posts and your profile and like friends and family and all that kind of stuff. That's not LinkedIn. LinkedIn is all professional. They want to get to know the person.
Unless they're trying to become more like Facebook, I guess.
Well, that makes me sad.
Yeah, like they want it to be more. Well, I have to say, like it is the one thing about LinkedIn that like I really liked the fact that it was professional, right? I like the fact that if you need to look at somebody's resume, if you're hiring somebody, whatever, all their information is there, and I thought that was great. But I am incredibly annoyed about all of the messages, the solicitations that you now get on LinkedIn, because before you would just go and see if somebody wanted to connect with you, right? Or if they were, for some reason, wanted to hire you, if you're a consultant or whatever. But now I never go to my messages, literally never, because it's incredible. It's as annoying as the Facebook bots have got, right? When all the chat bots and all those guys, and that's when I stopped, just so maybe you can make that connection. I stopped on Facebook when I got 4 million messages and you couldn't even see anymore because it was all, they weren't real people, they were just bots. On LinkedIn, they're people, but they're bots, right? So they're people messaging you, really solicitation, and it bothers me because they'll look at your profile, what you do, and then you'll just get inundated with that type of software, hardware. Let me do your website. And what's really annoying is, and I'm sure it annoys you too, Stacy, is especially people that say, I can, fix your website. And I sit there and go, have you looked at our websites? Because they're really good.
Yeah, we're good. I think my favorite one was because they pull out keywords, right? Like computer programs and stuff like that. So I would get a lot of messages saying, because I had the word personal in there and then I had the word trainer separately, because we do a lot of training and I do a lot of personal branding and I do online training, but personal and training. So I still do to this day, a ridiculous amount of messages saying, I see you're a personal trainer. We help personal trainers grow their business. And I feel like going, if you knew me, you would go, she is so not a personal trainer.
Yeah, so I'm
read
that's what I'm afraid of with LinkedIn. Like I can't, like it's no longer, it's no longer to meet people and network. It's like it's just a big solicitation place now, and I don't know. It's hard.
It's still good, don't get me wrong. I will disagree. I will agree that yes, that is there, but it is still probably the best professional connection place to meet, grow your network, because it's all professional.
I agree. It's the best place to actually see what somebody's done, their history. It is a living resume. So as somebody who's hired people, I don't need a resume anymore. I just go see their LinkedIn profile, right?
And if you want to see somebody like in our community, we're building a new community away from Facebook. And one of their main things is their LinkedIn is a link to their LinkedIn profile, because you can only write so much and then they can learn more about them. So you can write a lot about your brand. There's a lot of information you can put on changes that they've made, really, really good. But this last one does not bring me joy, but that's okay.
So I just wanted to mention that, we've been trialing a lot of stuff, and we worked with Mighty Networks. We can name names. We worked with Mighty Networks last year, and there was some real stumbling blocks. We didn't love it. And we're going to go back to Facebook. We've tried everybody out there. We're going to go back to Facebook groups, but we both dislike them so much that even though we put it out there, we're like, yeah, we can't do this. It's just we don't have it in us. So, because we do need a lot of community groups because of all our training and everything we do. So we found a brand new one that's just out there, just starting, and they potentially are a winner, right?
On that note, what a lot of the community groups did is they literally tried to sort of copy each other, make it a little bit better, do this, but they're very, very, they mimic sort of social media sites, I guess.
Right.
So there was a time, I don't know what day it was. I guess it was on Monday or Tuesday or whatever it was. It was on Monday. So I'm looking at it, and there was just a part on it that it wasn't making sense in my brain. And the reason it wasn't making sense in my brain is because it was not like the social media is what I expected, because they're all the same, right? All the communities, they're all the same, even they're all missing something. They were. And then literally I clicked and I watched a video and I went, oh my God. I literally texted Day and I'm like, whenever you're free, call me. So I get really, as we know, we get really excited. But this one did the exact opposite. And who would have thought that the opposite would work so well? So I'm congratulations to these guys. We're going to give you more details next week in regards to how to join and that kind of stuff. But they did the opposite. So I'm so happy that someone looked at it and went, you know what? That doesn't work.
Yeah. So we're setting it up. Stacy's setting it up. And once it's all ready to go, we'll invite you guys in to see, and to see maybe if it works, if you might want to get it for yourselves, because it's right now, we think it's really great. Like we've tried them all, Circle, Tribe, all those ones. We walked into Mighty Networks thinking, we knew that it was probably the best that was there, but we didn't walk in. We did not walk in excited. We did not walk in excited. We walked in saying it was the best at the time. And that for us should be a trigger. Because if we don't get excited about something, it means that it's not really a fit for us, right?
Yeah, and it was not. So we now know, unless we're excited.
And it was just a fluke. Stacy had seen this one, and then we got busy, and so it was just perfect timing. It is truly one that we thought, oh my God, when Stacy walked me through some of the stuff, it was exactly what we were looking for, exactly what we were trying to make Mighty Networks be. Right, last year,
absolutely,
we were trying to do what they already did. So we were probably. The best, we probably did the best usage of Mighty Networks of anyone that's ever used it, because we forced things to work to try to make it, but we still were like, after all that work and months and months and months of our time and our assistants' time, we just finally realized, you know what? This is not working for our community. It's not what we wanted. And this one, all of a sudden, as Stacy said, it was the polar opposite. It actually was a little weird because it was what we wanted. And we were like, what? They actually figured it out.
If we could have built it, this is what we would have done. So very excited. So we will share those details next week, because I'll have more excited.
Thanks for joining us here in the Mastermind City. You don't have to say goodbye, because there's other ways that you can join us.
You can access our free trainings, masterclasses, and learn how you can work one-on-one with us. Join us at themastermindcity.com, and we will see you in the city.